Hey, what's up everybody? My name's Tobias and I'm going to be showing you guys how to set up a smart watering system for your garden using these products that I have here by this brand called RainPoint. The first product I'm going to be showing you guys is the RainPoint 2-Zone Smart Watering System, and the second thing I'm going to be showing you guys is the RainPoint Smart Water Flow Meter. Both of these devices will connect wirelessly to a smart hub display, as well as a smartphone app called HomeGar. And I'll go ahead and put the link to these devices down in the description below in case you would like to check them out for yourself. Now, when it comes to setting these devices up, it's pretty important that you set up the smart hub first. And the smart hub and the smart water timer actually come in a box together. This is the box right here. And the important thing when setting this whole system up is that you first set up the smart hub. You need to set this up first so that you can connect your devices to the Wi-Fi of your house. And actually there are some user manuals that come inside the box and they are actually numbered. So you got to do this one first. That's for the smart hub, and this is for the 2-zone water timer. So you set up the smart display hub first, then you can go ahead and set up the 2-zone water timer, and then you can go ahead and set up the flow meter. All of these devices hook up to your standard 3/4 inch faucet or hose threading. They work in conjunction with a smartphone app, which I did download on my iPhone, and you can download it by just scanning one of these 2 QR codes that come inside the instructions. The app is called HomeGar, and I'll go ahead and open that really quick so you can see, and I will do a screen recording later on so you can actually see what I'm looking at on my screen when I'm using these smart watering devices. So before I show you guys how this watering system works, I'm going to share a few important tips with you guys to keep in mind while you're setting it up. So the first thing I would recommend is just go ahead and take a look at the quick start guide, download the app, and set up the smart display hub. The quick start guide is very straight to the point. Once you go into the app to set up the smart display hub, you're going to just go ahead and click on this plus screen right here. You're going to select the display hub, and then you're going to be able to connect to your home's Wi-Fi. Now, one thing to keep in mind about the display hub, you do not actually need batteries to run the display hub. However, just keep in mind that if you do remove the power adapter from the wall and the display hub turns off, you're not going to be able to control your devices from your smartphone. So where you see your devices on your smartphone, they're actually going to say offline if you disconnect the power from the smart display hub. Now, you can put batteries in the smart display hub. It takes 3 AA batteries, and those are meant to be used as a backup just in case you happen to be moving your display hub or you do have to unplug it. Those batteries will keep the power on, so you'll still be able to connect to your devices through your smartphone. But if you do not have batteries inside and you unplug the power adapter, it will turn off. I actually did that earlier today. I unplugged it, I didn't have any batteries inside, and all the devices showed that they were offline on my iPhone. But as soon as I plugged it back in, the 2-zone water system showed that they were back online. As for the smart flow meter, that one still said offline, so I looked at the troubleshooting section of the user manual, and it actually told me to go ahead and just turn on the water faucet and let some water pass through it. And once I did that, it showed as online on the HomeGar app again. So that's all I had to do to get this thing back online. Now I'm going to go ahead and do a screen recording on my phone so you can see what I'm talking about. So when it comes to setting up the 2-zone water timer, what you first want to do is you want to go into the app, hit the little plus button in the top right of the screen, and look for 2-zone water timer, which is right here. And then it says ready for pairing. At this point, you're going to want to go ahead and put the 4 AA batteries in the back of the 2-zone water timer, and then hold the left button on the water timer until the light starts blinking rapidly, and then it'll be ready for pairing and the device will connect within 90 seconds. So now we're going back outside and I'm gonna show you guys how to set up the 2-zone watering timer. And just a quick FYI, it does come with Teflon tape, so you might want to put that around your threadings. So what I did here is I just went ahead and screwed the RainPoint watering timer onto my faucet right here. I made sure that it's tight, and then I went ahead and opened the valve. And then down here, I connected 2 hoses, one on the left and one on the right. And you can control the water flow through these hoses by either pushing either one of the buttons. So right now I just turned the water on. To turn it off, I'll go ahead and just push that button again. or you can control those faucets by using the HomeGar smartphone app. And each faucet can be controlled independently to do its entirely own thing. So right now I have the left hose hooked up to this perforated hose over here going amongst all of these plants. And right now I'm going to go ahead and take out my phone and just demonstrate quickly how you can control these faucets with your smartphone. So right now I am controlling the left valve. That is where I have the hose connected. That is connected to this perforated hose on the ground. So I'm going to go ahead and take out my phone, and down here where it says irrigation, I'm going to go ahead and click on that button, and I'm just going to go ahead and turn it on for 1 minute. You can select how long you want it to go on for, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit confirm. And now the water is on. As you can see here, the hose is spraying water. You can probably see it a bit better down here. And it's still going. It says we have 18 seconds left, so I'm just going to go ahead and turn that off. And as you can see, the water turned off. Check that out. I mean, there's still a little of the leftover water coming out, but the faucet itself turned off. And then if we take a look at our app, it'll tell us right here that we just used 2.2 gallons of water. Now, some of you may be wondering how accurate this device actually is at counting gallons. So I'm going to go ahead and test it for you guys. I have my hose from the right side of the 2-zone watering timer. So this hose right here, I have that hooked up to the right side, and I have the other end of the hose over here next to this 5-gallon bucket. And we're going to go ahead and fill up this 5-gallon bucket with water, and we'll see what the app tells us. Check that out, guys. I filled the bucket up to the brim, and it calculated that we used 5.1 gallons. I'm guessing the reason it's a little higher than 5 is because this is a pretty long hose, and there is probably some water inside the hose that didn't make it to the bucket. So as you can see, it is very accurate at counting gallons. Now, another cool thing that you can do with this smart water timer is that you can actually set a schedule for it to turn on and off. So I'm going to go ahead and select the left valve on the timer, and you can actually set this for the left and the right, or one or the other. So right now I'm going to go down to where it says plan, and I'm going to go ahead and click on that. As you can see, I have a plan in there. It's called Plan A. And if you click on that, as you can see, I set the valve to turn on Mondays, and you can actually customize it to come on whatever day you want, and it'll come on, like, say every Monday, or you can set it for Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever you want. But I just set it to come on Monday, and I set it to come on for just 1 minute. As you can see here, you can set the time, the amount of time you want it to turn on for. And I have it set to the irrigation mode. And actually, instead of having the duration be by time, so for example, I put 1 minute, you can actually also set it to turn off by a certain amount of gallons. So if you want it to turn off after you've used, say 2 gallons, you can set that. But I'm going to go ahead and keep mine set to duration, 1 minute on Mondays at 8 a.m. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the smart hub inside. So now we're looking at the smart display hub, and if you look at this right here, 710, that stands for the month July and the day of the month, the 10th, which is this coming Monday, and that's under next plan, which is the time that I set for the watering timer to turn on. So if you ever want to know the next time your watering timer will turn on, it'll show the date right here, and you could actually switch between zones. So this is zone 1, meaning I believe it's the left faucet, and if you click that, it'll show zone 2, and I have not set anything for that one. So that one does not have a schedule set, so there's nothing there. And if you look underneath that, it says 5.1. That's how many gallons I used in my last usage. And if we click that again and go back to the first zone, you know, it says 710 and then 2.2 gallons, which is what I used the last time I used that faucet. And then there's all this other information too, like the temperature, the date, the time, the humidity, all that stuff. And now I'm gonna show you guys how to set up the water flow meter. So the first thing that I wanna tell you guys about the water flow meter is that when you are removing the panel to put in the batteries, you actually don't take it off like this. Actually, this whole piece disconnects. This is one thing that I really struggled with when I first got it. I was trying to remove the back panel like this after unscrewing these screws, and it wouldn't come off. And actually it's this entire piece that comes off. And I believe the way it works is with magnets, I think. I'm not 100% sure because there are no metal connections inside, so I'm pretty sure it must be like a magnet or something like that. I'm not really sure. When you disconnect it, you're going to go ahead and remove these 4 screws, and you're going to put in the batteries. Then you'll go ahead and put it back together like this. And the next thing that you may be inclined to do is to install it without the adapters. So say you take it out of the box and you try to attach it without these adapters straight onto your faucet and straight onto your hose, like you might be inclined to try to install it like this. But I will warn you guys, if you try to install it like this, it probably won't work. You're probably going to get leaks here and here, because I actually did try this and it didn't work. So what you want to do is you want to look on the device where it says flow and it has an arrow. So I have the flow arrow pointing this way. So I'm going to go ahead and take the fitting, and let me just take this apart so you guys can actually see how it is. So you're going to get these 2 fittings. You're going to take the one with the gray threading, and you're going to insert this piece into the back of it like that. Whoops. Let me go ahead and do that again. You're going to insert it like that, and then you're going to take the middle part and you're going to screw it in like this. And then you're going to take the other piece and you're going to stick it into the one with the black threading like that. And then you're going to go ahead and screw that on to the other piece. Whoops. And now we're going to install it onto our faucet. Now, as soon as you turn the water on, the screen will start counting the gallons. The other cool thing is that you can swing this thing around. It's not kind of stuck in one position. So now we're going to go ahead and test the accuracy of the water flow meter. So I opened up the HomeGar app and I'm going to click on water flow meter. And over here, I have my 5-gallon bucket set up with the hose. We're gonna fill that up and we're gonna see what the flow meter says. So I gotta put my phone down for a second. I'm gonna put it over here and we're gonna go ahead and turn on the hose. And it's going. So the one we want to look at is right here where it says current water usage. That's what we want to look at right there. Oh, look at that. We're almost, we're getting there. So we're at 3 gallons. Oh, it's all, oh no, it fell out. Ah. All right. All right, right there. I'm going to turn it off. It's a little harder to start and stop it because first of all, the hose came out and I can't turn it on and off with the app. This one, you actually do have to turn on the faucet by hand. But yeah, if we take a look at the app, you know, the water did overflow a bit, but it says right there, we use 5.42 gallons of water. And as you can see, the bucket is completely filled, and we did spill quite a bit of water. We spilled almost half a gallon of water. So as you guys can see, these RainPoint devices are extremely accurate. And actually guys, I'm hoping to use the 2-zone watering timer to actually help me fill my pond in the future. So I have my koi pond that I'm building over here, and what I'm hoping to do is attach a inline dechlorinator to one of my garden hoses and have that attached to the outside of the pond so it's pointing inwards. So if I'm ever away on vacation or I'm not at home and I look on the cameras and I see that the water level is a little bit low, I can go ahead and turn on the hose with the HomeGar app and let it fill up through an inline dechlorinator. So anyways guys, I'm gonna go ahead and put the links to these RainPoint smart watering devices down in the description below in case you would like to check those out for yourself. As usual guys, if you did like this video or if it helped you out, I would really appreciate it if you went down there and gave this video a like. That would help me out so much. If you would like to see more videos by me in the future, make sure to go down there and hit that subscribe button and also that bell notifications button. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, I'll go ahead and put my handle right here, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Peace.